Sword Hero is a story-driven open-world RPG that has sandbox simulation in it. It is inspired by early 2000s RPGs like Gothic, and in its systems, it's also inspired by Dragon's Dogma. It is meant to have this very strong reactivity to it, so a lot of the things that you'll see will actually react to things that you do. There's going to be a lot of player freedom. No hand-holding, it's immersion first, so this is meant to be a more hardcore RPG, I guess, if you want to call it that. The player is not this chosen hero type that you get in a lot of games. He's kind of a nobody protagonist, and your goal is to survive on this quarantined island that you get put onto and investigate this item that you have from the start of the game. And the setting is this war-torn sort of region on an abandoned ring world. There are going to be 3 different factions. They're all competing for power. You can interact with those factions in a variety of ways. You're trying to find someone who understands this artifact that you have. It's going to have something like 6 different chapters. It's a branching story. It has multiple endings. You can join these factions. You can stay independent, not join the factions at all. It's very open. You can become hostile to all of these factions, so you can fight them. It has a dense, handcrafted open world. It's not meant to be this huge empty map that just doesn't have anything in it. It's fully seamless, so there's not going to be a bunch of loading screens when going into different places. Part of having this retro-inspired look to it allows you to do stuff like that. It has exploration rewards that are placed very deliberately. It isn't the sort of thing where you'll just get random rewards based on some random number generator or things like that. If you know any of the Piranha Bytes games and the Gothic games, it kind of is meant to feel more like that, where you'll just stumble across these really cool things that are just wherever they might be. As you go through the world will evolve over time, so over the different chapters, there'll be different things that happen that have consequences, and you'll get new enemies in those areas that you've been before. The politics of those different areas will change, and there will be very clear consequences to what has happened. He's kind of trying to keep this rule, if it makes sense, it works. So you can kind of take an example of that. You can cook things by placing food on a hot surface. So kind of think the Breath of the Wild thing that you might have seen before. There's going to be a crime system, so he'll have that as well. Corpses will persist and decay, so that's something that doesn't necessarily happen in every game, where you'll have them just stay there. They'll disappear over time in a lot of different games. NPCs will loot, they'll drag the different bodies that they see, they'll rescue allies, and it just depends on what they're simulated to do. They're not just going to leave things as, as they are with this amazingly awesome item on the body. They're going to actually try to loot that thing. And one of the systems that I think the developer said was specifically inspired from Dragon's Dogma, the NPC's routines change after traumatic events. So an example of something that might happen after they experience some sort of traumatic event, they could become a recluse, they could be a drunk, just someone that gets drunk all the time. They can actually seek revenge. They could gain a prosthetic. Let's say they go through something where one of their limbs gets chopped off, they might actually get a prosthetic to replace that. They could also become a quest giver, so maybe they'll ask you to take revenge for them. There'll be randomized tragedy outcomes that happen in each playthrough, so each playthrough will be a little bit different depending on what you do and what happens. And there could also be positive life changes as well. It's not going to be something that is just always bad all the time. It's something that can affect these NPCs in different ways. And because it's an RPG, those sorts of systems are going to be affecting your character as well. You can actually see the changes on your character depending on what you do. They'll get bigger muscles, they'll get scars depending on where you might get hit. You can get prosthetics as well, so if your character happens to get its arm or leg chopped off, you can get a prosthetic to replace that. There can be mutations of different sorts. Not sure what that is. That sounds kind of interesting. Obviously, you can get tattoos or something like that. XP is gained from many different activities, not just combat. So there's going to be different activities, things like fishing. And when you get levels, you can spend points with masters, people that will train you to do different things. And there will be body modifications that affect abilities as well. And of course, if you'd like to settle down, you could buy rooms, you can get houses, you can get estates. You'll be able to rent to NPC tenants as well, so you can invest in businesses. Incomes will arrive whenever you go to the next chapter in the game. You can furnish those homes that you get freely. You can place items wherever you'd like. You can display your trophies if you've done something really cool. You can display that. And it isn't just the melee weapons, things like swords, axes, and maces, and things like that. You're going to obviously also be able to use bows and thrown weapons. There's going to be bombs, traps, different mutations that might let you fight in different ways, and magic, projectiles that will actually shoot things at enemies, AoE abilities, necromancy, different buffs and transformations, summons, and all of that sort of thing. So this is going to be a very expansive game that has a lot of different ways to engage in combat. So yeah, that is a lot of the information that I wanted to share about this game, Sword Hero. It's there's a lot more information out there. He's actually talked a lot about it. He has an entire Kickstarter page that you can look at that shares a lot of the information that I've been going over here. They've had their successful Kickstarter already finish. He pulled something like $350,000 in donations through Kickstarter to help him get started and finish out the development of the game. Seems like he's planning to have it out sometime in 2027 as of right now. Who knows? You know how feature creep goes with these sorts of things. It could end up taking more time. I would not count on it taking less time. That is something that if anyone has been watching these sorts of kick-started games or, you know, single-person development teams, although he sounds like he's going to be able to hire at least a couple contractors or something like that, it's going to take a while. And the game just looks really special. It looks like it has a lot of potential to be something great, and I'm very excited to see where it goes. It already feels great in terms of the combat. You can check that out in the demo. There's this combat arena demo that is on Steam, so you can go take a look at it, wishlist the game there. There's not only that, there's like a tournament style system that is something like you fight single enemies and multiple enemies, and it gets harder and harder and harder over time. But you also have, you know, different abilities and different weapon loadouts that you're allowed to have as you go through this tournament system. So there's kind of already a game there. You can already see, and it sounds like he's already built a lot of the systems that he needs to build. A lot of what he's doing and developing right now is just the world and the actual places and NPCs and story and all of that stuff. So this is one that sounds really cool, and it seems like it's going to be something great potentially. Always keep in mind that things can fall apart and not everything works out, but this is one that I'm definitely rooting for, and I hope that it ends up great. So for more videos about RPGs of all kinds, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.